Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, Alexander. I'm happy to welcome all of you on our new class with Dr.Elder. And as usual, before we start, I will say some words at the beginning. First of all, to remind about risks. We all need to remember that risks in trading, investing can be. So we need to understand where we trade, where we invest, and that's a key point of trading to make it successful. For those who participate in our events for the first time, we are Admirals. We are a company which work for more than 20 years. We have a presence in different countries, starting from Latin America to Asia and Australia. Recently, we got our Canadian license, and not so fast also in South Africa. So we work in different countries. So and also here we have, let's say, participants from all over the world. So that's also important that we can unite different people from different countries. We provide different services for our clients, like the mains are trading and investing, and we provide different platforms starting for a well-known MetaTrader to our own native app, which you can download and invest and trade on the go. And this is also actually a huge thing which I want to remind that if you prefer to trade on the go, so you can download our app from App Store or Google Play and connect your account and keep your trading or investing there. Recently this year we also launched a new service in investing. It's our fractional shares. So right now it's possible to buy not the whole stock, but you literally can buy a part of Tesla, part of Amazon in investing account. So also to remind about this opportunity. In Admirals we pay attention to education because we understand that we work in a sphere where we sell cars where literally 80% of people don't have a driving license. So we want to provide, let's say, education to our clients. So that's why it's also important to be connected. And I strongly recommend to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because if you next time also you'll miss our webinar, the day after the webinar, you will be able to find the recordings there. And also our Telegram channel, I will send the link after. I also want to say that we also inviting all our clients to our annual event, which we will have only for our clients, where we will speak with several guests, and we are going to speak about markets in 2023. Link I will also add a little bit later. So for today's agenda, key parts are as we do as usually. So also it will be interesting to hear Dr.Elder's opinion about current situation in the markets. We will go through the key markets. We'll look at new high, new low indicator. We'll have some stocks to review. And in the end of our class, I will explain how it's possible to implement indicators from Alexander's to MetaTrader platform. And also we have a nice contest where it's possible to get a prize, where its price is Alexander's book with his personal signature. Also, regarding this format, I just want to remind that please don't raise your hands, let's say in Zoom. It's, let's say we don't have this option to open your microphone and allow to speak everyone because we have too many people, and you can leave your questions in chat. Please don't raise your hand. So it's just according to this format which we have. Basically, before we start, I just want to show this picture from Finviz, which shows the data for past months, and we see that the biggest part of companies, they're actually green. We have some red ones like Amazon, Tesla, Facebook, but the market was pretty much growing, and now we want to look at what is happening here, and of course to have, let's say, some plan, right? So it's not, there is no chance to have, let's say, okay, in 2 months we will be there. No, it's not working like this, but we can have, let's say, plan what we will do and to act, and that's why we have our special guest, Alexander, professional trader and teacher of traders, who wrote the latest, at least latest book was The New Trading for a Living. And we are happy to have Alexander once a month to hear his opinion and to get some information from his side. Alexander, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Ron. Thank you for this kind introduction. I should say also that this book originally, of course, in English, but it's translated into something like 16 languages. So you can get it in French, German, Italian, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, etc., etc., etc. So, but thank you very much. These are fascinating times in the markets for sure. We're approaching the anniversary. In December of last year, I began saying this is the end of the bull market. And of course, so far this year, it has been a bear market. Now the question, of course, that everybody has is this what's happening now, the rally in the American markets for the last 2 months, October and November, is that the end of the bear market? We're in a bull market again, or is it just a corrective rally? I saw a headline which made me smile, actually in the Estonian newspaper, where somebody wrote, "I believe this is the beginning of a bull market." My thought was, if you believe, you go to church, but when it comes to the markets, you have to use facts. So today we will try to do, we will not try, we will review the essential facts. Let me do what I was planning to do from the beginning and take you on a quick tour of international markets. It says to me, host disabled participant screen sharing. If you can please enable me for screen sharing. Again, my apology for this technical snafu. Really, my fault, as many things happen. Overconfidence in technology. Push the button. It says you have to update. Forget it. I'll go without an update. Here we're in trouble. First time this happened, but super sorry. Okay, you're allowing me to share. Share screen. We go to VMware. Share. All right. Once again, super sorry about my difficulty, but I hope that what follows will make it up for you. So what I'm going to do now is what I do every weekend, doing my own homework. Quick around the world tour. It is impossible. Well, I shouldn't say impossible. It is not a good idea to trade looking just at a single market, whether it be it American or German or Japanese or what have you. So we'll go on a 3-minute around the world tour. You're looking at the weekly chart of Japan. What do we see? At the right edge, prices are above value, MACD histogram overextended, force index overbought. Toppy. We go to Canada, weekly chart as well. Trading above value, MACD histogram overextended, force index beginning to diverge. Not pretty. Germany, weekly chart again, as everything else. Above value, MACD histogram overbought, force index tremendously overbought, and no progress in 2 weeks. Not a pretty picture. Hong Kong, we're in Asia now. Same thing, stalling around the highs, not as overbought as Europe. Japan. Strong market making a new high this week. So that's the first strong market we see, although quite overbought as well. Back to Europe, France. Above value, tremendously overbought MACD histogram, very overbought force index, and the market is not making any progress. Not a pretty looking chart. Back to Asia, Singapore. I'm going through the world's 14 biggest markets. That's why some appear, some do not. And they go in alphabetical order, so that's why they're not geographically correct. Singapore,
already starting to sink. Tracing a bearish divergence of MACD histogram, overbought force index. Not a pretty picture. Taiwan. Stalling near the highs, very high MACD histogram, overbought force index, dangerous. UK, very strong market, nothing negative, overbought, but strong markets are always overbought. This market is really having strength. Second strong market that we noticed today. Mexico, stalling. MACD histogram overbought, not likely to go much higher. Force index hugely overbought. South Korea. Already beginning to come off of the top. Very overbought force index. Brazil. I mean, you're starting to get the pattern, right? We have two more to look at after Brazil. I was there just a couple of weeks ago. Mess with the elections. Very weak, very weak. The outgoing president who promised no military coup is now having a legal fight to annul the election results and to remain president. So Brazil doesn't like it too much. The first bearish market, the first impulse system that's red. India. Weak, declining towards value, tremendous bearish divergence of MACD histogram. And China. Rolling off of the top, neutral. So what you have seen in our exploration is that some markets are already began to weaken, and lots of markets are very, very, very overbought. So if we go back for a moment to the S&P, you see it's struggling. Again, there is a perfect downtrend. Top, lower bottom, top, lower bottom, top, lower bottom, and the top. So, I promised to show you, well, you saw the new high, new low index. My opinion of this market. The market is in a rally mode, but this rally is rapidly approaching an end. And I think that we have not yet seen the bottom of the bear market. In other words, I think that, not believe like some people do, but I think that the bottom the market had in September, October is likely to be taken out. S&P is trading at around 4,000 points. And I think that 3,200, maybe even 3,000 S&P is the realistic zone. More trouble ahead. Not today. Oh, and by the way, since you're trading overseas, I should remind you, tomorrow, on Thursday, all US markets are going to be closed. There's a national holiday, Thanksgiving Day. And on Friday, the market will close at 1 o'clock. So after the market closes today, we have only half a day of trading. What happens next week? Be very careful. So what are the practical? So I reviewed the markets with you. I gave you my views. I shared my analysis with you. What's the practical conclusion? What should be done? Well, for myself, I'm heavily short. Well, medium heavy short. I don't have a single long position. I'm only shorting this market, shorting various stocks. But if you have long positions, what you must do is have stops. Have stops underneath of your positions, because when this thing gets heavy and starts, this bear market, the bear market is not finished. And when it goes into full force, don't wait until you get out. Be very quick to run. hard stops underneath every single long position is my absolutely best advice to you. Roman, I hope, how's the sound now? Can you hear me better or worse or about the same nonsense?
Yes, now everything is good. Everything is good.
Thank you.
Clear and loud.
Thank you very much. You asked me also to review, so I'm looking at your list you sent me. Current market, new high, new low. You wanted, for some reason, you wanted special analysis of Visa card, V. What you and I have done every time in recent months, before I look at any chart, I want to go to the FinViz website and check there what's the earnings date for that stock. Something that longer term participants know very well. Don't trade into earnings. If you know that your stock is going to declare earnings in the next few days, in the next week, stay out, because stocks do crazy things on earnings. Trading into earnings is not trading, it's gambling. So I want to check when the earnings date on Visa. Well, it was October 25. October 25 is good. It means that there will be nothing for the next 3 months. I can trade Visa. Another thing that I want to check is what's the short float? How many people are shorting this thing? 2.3%, not bad at all. Roman, I will ask you to get that FinViz ready so that when we look at the following stocks, I don't have to go page to page, but I can kindly ask you to please look up those numbers. So here you have Visa. Good news and bad news. So good news, Visa is rising. The impulse system is green. MACD histogram is quite overbought. And I don't like the pattern I see here on the force index. Back in October, during, let me see, during this rally, I'll put a vertical chart. During this rally, you can see that little yellow dot. It shows that force index was extremely high. There was a buying panic. Now the stock is higher than it was in October, and force index is lower. So it tells me that bulls are becoming weaker. I look at this little yellow dot at the right edge. The impulse system is green, which means I'm not allowed to short. It's still a bullish trend. The crossover point, and I think you can get this study, in Admirals software. Roman will correct me if I'm wrong. This point is at $209. So Visa is trading at $211.43 as we speak. If it goes down $2.50, 1% basically, it will become legal to sell short. We'll look at the daily chart of Visa. Ugly, no other word. Look, I'm putting a horizontal line across the October top. So you see, there is like a ceiling on these prices, and the stock is trying to hit its head on the ceiling 1 time, 2 times. And today it was above the ceiling, made a dent in the ceiling early this morning. And what it is doing now, it is retreating. Look at the MACD histogram. The peak in October, break below 0, and now a peak in November. That's all you get. Bearish diversions. Look at the force index. Force index, horrible bearish diversions. So I would say, just as we looked at the weekly chart, what was that crossover point? 200. Let me just Visa 209 points. Making a note to myself to explore it for shorting after I finish this presentation. Could be another good opportunity. Very toppy stock. It's definitely too late to buy, and it's right above the level at which it will become legal to sell short. Roman, you want to take back the control, or should I use my software to review those? You have Amazon, BBY, Moderna. Should we go through those now, or
we can use your software and later on back and we'll just check a gold and oil after this review.
Okay, super. So we'll do stocks using my software first, and then we'll go to you. And again, a message to participants: terribly sorry that sound wasn't good in the beginning. Of course, I was going to blame Roman for everything. Never accept responsibility. Just kidding. No, it was actually at my end, and but I managed to fix it. And of course, we'll continue this webinar much longer than originally planned, so that you don't lose. So you get all the promised time with good sound and hopefully a few intelligent thoughts. So we reviewed the US stock market. We reviewed Visa. I just want to show you very briefly what's happening in the US market today as we speak. I'm a great well, I invented the system, the triple screen trading system, which requires me, you, anybody who follows it, to follow the market in more than one time frame. I make a strategic decision on a long-term chart, tactical decision on a short-term chart. So when I look at the longer term, as we have done already today, strategic decision on the weeklies, tactical decision on the dailies. Sometimes I want to zoom in and go for look at intraday charts. I make my strategic decision on the 25-minute chart, and that's S&P futures, and tactical on the 5-minute chart. What do we see here? So the vertical lines separate days. Behind this last vertical line is what happened today. The market opened flat, fluctuated. It went to a new high. It took out yesterday's high, dropped sharply, and it's sort of the 25-minute chart isn't saying much. Just the market is getting weak. The indicators are silent. They don't always speak, just as people. Sometimes they speak, and sometimes they don't. But we go to the 5-minute chart, and we see something very important. In the beginning of the day, when the market fell below yesterday's close, look at the power of bears during that fall. Then we had this beautiful rally. Then the market fell again, and look at the power of bears. So at the right edge, prices are hanging in, but bears are becoming more and more vicious. Bearish sign, not a good sign. Okay, let's go back to the normal chart. And Roman sent me a list of stocks he would like me to review. I'll try to go fairly quick because so we have time, and hopefully time for questions and answers. I also got a very interesting question from one of our participants. I think she is in Bulgaria, just judging by the name. I'd like to address that question a little bit later. Amazon. Early today, when Roman showed you a list of this kind of color map of the US market, and most of them are green, but the ones that are red are the giants that led the bull market up. And now they're leading it down. So Amazon, of course, is one. They call them FANG stocks. Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, plus Tesla. FANG. So Amazon. Well, Amazon certainly having a terrible time of it. At the end of the bull market, the stock cost $190. Today, you can buy it for $90, a little bit more. So the stock lost more than 50% of its value. However, all this late coming bears say, oh, Apple, oh, Amazon, I would not be in a hurry to sell it. I would not be in a hurry to sell it. Why? Look at the bottom in summer, in May. Amazon was hovering just above $100, and this was the power of bears. There was a rally in late summer and fall. I call this rally breaking the back of the bear. And now the stock is below $100. It's actually $93.49 at the moment as I speak. So the stock made a new low. I'll mark this line of support, which got broken. The market is at a new, Amazon is at a new low, but look at the MACD histogram. It's much more shallow. We have a bullish divergence. And we have at the right edge, we have a very nice bullish pattern of force index. I think the Amazon already got the damage that it was going to get. And I think if you are looking for long-term pattern acquisitions, I know I said earlier, let's not be in a hurry to buy. But if your hands are itching, you want to buy something, this is the stock that I would be buying. False breakout, probably false breakout. It will become false if the stock rises above 100. But beautiful bullish divergences. The stock is at a discount. You come into a store and they say, shoes, ballet shoes from Switzerland, normal price, $190 a pair. Today, $93 a pair. So what are you going to do? Sell yours short? Oh, take my ballet shoes. No, you're not selling it short. You're saying, you know what, I think I like this thing. Let me get a pair. So I'm glad that we see a positive stock. Next one, BBY. I actually tried to short BBY earlier this week, but couldn't get a fill that I liked. BBY, it's a big American retailer. You know, I'm glad I didn't sell it short. I'm glad I didn't sell it short because this is another stock. It's a little too late to buy a thing, but it's certainly a very, very interesting bullish stock. Look at this. Does this remind you of a pattern you saw in Amazon? Does this remind you of the pattern you saw in Amazon? This was the power of bears in summer, breaking the back of the bear. This was the power of bears in October. Fantastic bullish diversions, false downside breakout, and the rally. Count me as a bull on BBY, but with one comment. Amazon that we looked at a minute ago is already cheap and hanging near the bottom. BBY is running. If the market is going to have a break, BBY has every right to a pullback. So it's trading above value. It's trading now at $80.88, $81. The value zone is in the low 70s. So we look at the daily chart. One of my rules, I never sell short near the upper channel line. I'm sorry, I never buy, correction, I never buy near the upper channel. I sell short near the upper channel line. That's where I missed it last week. Buy below value, sell above value. This stock is very strong and it's very overvalued. It's overvalued by about 10%. So what I would do, print out a chart, put it on your wall, and mark this area, the value zone. You see how during the rally, pull back to value, pull back to value, pull back to value, pull back to value. It gives you a system right on this chart. Use it. Pull back to value. Attractive stock, attractive buy for a swing trade, maybe even long-term trade, but back to value. Don't chase it to the sky, especially in a very toppy market. By the way, S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ, just went negative as I speak. So the market had this big rally in the morning and reversed. Be careful. Buy below value, or at value at least. The two moving averages define the value zone. Somebody who is buying it today can look at this chart and say, the value of this stock is in the low 70s, maybe about $72. People are asking $81 for it now, and I'll buy it. Of course, I'm a fool. I am overpaying $9 for the stock, but I think I will meet an even bigger fool in a few days or weeks and sell the stock to him for more than I got today. Be very careful. No fools in the stock market. Stock market is an environment that does not attract foolish people. We have gamblers, but very few fools. Don't do bigger fool theory. You know, I'm a fool to pay such a high price. I'll find a bigger fool later. Don't. Next stock that Roman sent to me. This is a little SEDG. A little unfamiliar, not a stock that I have traded. I've traded Amazon, I've traded BBY. Solar stock. We have to go to the weekly chart, of course, first to make a decision. I can show you a solar stock that I am short of. Very related. I think this whole complex wants to go lower. Take a look at this. ENPH. Look at this gross bearish divergence. MACD lines, MACD histogram, force index. I mean, this thing is screaming from the chart. I want to go down. Double top with a massive divergences. Weekly chart. Looking at the daily chart. Today, it tried to rally, failed, and trading at the lows now. The big move down hasn't started yet, but we already got a false upside breakout. How about this? Today, the market stuck its head above it, great shorting opportunity. We're trading below it, in any case. So, but I'm that's not the stock Roman asked me to review. I just thought about it because I think this whole solar stuff is ready for a rest. SEDG, SEDG. So the weekly chart says you are not allowed to sell short. The impulse system is green. The stock is trading at $301. The crossover point for the impulse system is at 282, $20 away. Too far, simply too far. Below 282, it becomes a legal short. Looking at the daily chart, it looks like it's struggling. It's, you know, it rises a little, falls, rises a little, falls. Below 282, it will become legal next week. The following week, even higher. But too high. Let's take a look at Moderna. Fantastic company, the company that created really a new industry. You know, vaccines used to be made using chicken eggs. They still have those huge facilities where they have hundreds of thousands of chicken eggs where they put in vaccines to grow them. And Moderna does it in a tube. They really helped defeat this pandemic. And now they're using their technology to develop treatments against cancers. Not shabby. The stock traded at almost $500. It fell down below 100. Now it's trading at 174. I see this whole pattern. I think long term it's a fantastic company. The question is, do we do anything? Do we do anything now? So this is the overhead resistance at about $190. And every time the stock comes to that overhead resistance, it hits its head on the floor. That's how I lost my hair in old days, hitting my head against the ceiling. I'm sorry, not on the floor. And you can see the stock is overvalued. The value, according to my chart, the value zone, $155. The stock is trading at 175. You want to pay $20 more than value? That foolish? Daily chart came back to value already. I would put this stock in a fork, so to speak. I would be ready to buy when it comes to about 150. But if it breaks above 192, I would be a buyer on a breakout, if that's your mode of trading. Actually, I don't trade breakouts, but it's legitimate. It's a legitimate way to trade. So either at around 150 or on a breakout towards 200. At this point, at 175, it's between the sky and the earth. So very attractive stock for the long pool, I think, for the very long pool. Roman, I hope I'm not going too fast. And is the sound good?
Yes, all good.
Okay, thank you very much. If any criticism, please stop me, because I feel still having a guilt attack about that.
No worries, Alexander. Everything is good. We hear you.
All right. We go next. We go look down at your shoes, Nike. What I don't understand, when I'm in Manhattan, occasionally I see these long lines, like people stand lines which are 2 or even 2.5 street blocks long, with security maintaining the queue. Why? New Nike shoes. I buy running, and they cost about excellent shoes. Excellent shoes. They cost a little more than $100 maybe. But these people, young kids, and 500 in any case, insane. But who am I to tell? Too old. Nike. Weekly chart. So Nike really had a bear market. Was part of the victims in a bear market. Nike was trading at about $175, and it came down to 75, just like Amazon, lost $100. We see a pattern here, which unfortunately is still the pattern of a bear market. New high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and it's still a lower high. So I think Nike is not finished dying, or not finished declining. It's very toppy. We've seen this chart on many international markets that we looked at. Look, very strong rally, nothing day, nothing week, weekly chart. And now this week, Nike is trading at $106.04. Next week, and remember, I said to you, tomorrow US markets are closed, and on Friday the stock market is open only for 3.5 hours, 9:30 to 1. So this week is basically finished. Next week, if Nike trades below $103.40, 103.40, the impulse system will stop being green. Bearish diversions will be activated, and it will become legal to sell short. Looking at the daily chart of Nike, false breakout last week, love those things. It was tremendously overbought on force index, and now just going horizontal. Let me just go back to the weekly chart for a moment and repeat the numbers. On the weekly chart, the crossover point at which shorting becomes legal, oops, lost it, is the legal crossover will be at 103.40 cents. And by the way, about selling short, all beginners buy. Shorting is professionals' game. I love shorting. I mean, I like shorting a lot more than buying, because the movements are so much faster. if you're a total beginning trader, wait to short. But once you begin learning to short, find a stock that you hate. Find a stock that you think is going to fall apart and sell short a very little quantity of that short, of that stock, very little. A mistake that, a huge mistake that many beginners, most beginners make. They say, I'm going to earn while I learn. Well, you don't earn while you learn, you pay while you learn. If you decide to become a dentist, yeah, you can earn a very good income, but are you going to earn that income in your first year of dental school, in your second year? I don't think so, right? So in the beginning, you're going to pay, and most of that pay will be in losses. So trade very small size when you begin. Increase your size as profits start coming in, slowly. Okay, three more stocks, I'm sorry, on Roman's list. And then I turn the screen to him, and we will look at some other markets that he would like us to analyze. WBA, it's a huge pharmacy chain here in America. WBA, come on up. Well, we've seen this pattern before. The stock is trading high. It actually took out its summer peak, very overbought, but the impulse system is green. And however, as far as buying is concerned, the stock is trading at $41.62. The value zone is below 38. It's 10% overvalued. We'll look now at the daily chart, WBA. Wow, how about double top? How about this double top? Just look at it. Just look at this beauty. Look at this. Anybody likes shorting? Today the stock tried to break above the ceiling. Oh, and you see old resistance in summer. Let me compress the chart a little. You see, oh, gee. Another note. Writing another note to myself. Look at WBA after the class. Maybe something interesting. Maybe, but of course not legal yet. Because the weekly chart is still green. It's not as attractive as Amazon, as BBY, but if you're a buyer, if you like trading long, wait until it comes down to value. Right now, the stock is trading at 41.62. Value is below 38. So somebody who buys it today says, I'm a fool. I am paying 42 plus for something that's worth only $38. But I think I'll find a bigger fool down the road and sell it to them. Remember, this is not a field, this is not the field where fools run. The other places where they run in big crowds, politics, but financial markets don't attract fools. So be very careful shopping above value. Hold. This is a very interesting stock, Caterpillar, very successful, very well-established old American company. They sell tractors, road-making equipment, serious business. And what do we see? So, and this company, by the way, last year, 2021 peak was $250 roughly, and it's now trading at 236. So this company was not really affected by the bear market. Why not? Because the entire real economy in America and overseas depends on this company. You want to build the road, you want to build the bridge, you want. So this is heavy construction company. and it's not going to change. In America, there is a huge, our bridges have gotten old, our roads are getting old, and there is a plan for a huge program to really upgrade American infrastructure. So Caterpillar is standing there ready with the order book. What do we want? How many thousands of machines? So it's a very good company to own, but again, please buy it at value or below value, but don't chase it to the sky. We live in a very dangerous environment. Interest rates are rising, and some company or municipality that wants to buy this huge machines will say, we can't really afford them now. We need them, but let's postpone it for another year. Well, the company can wait, but the stock is not going to be too happy. Don't buy above value. And you can see how it's stalling really, force index overbought. Daily chart of Caterpillar. Oh, yeah, double top. Very attractive stock for the long pool, but not today. Well, we found a couple of things that are attractive today. Well, certainly Amazon is suitable for long-term buying. BBY looks very attractive on a pullback. And here we're looking at the last stock on Roman's list. After that, I shut up and transfer control to him. British Airways. Oh, Boeing. What I'm saying, BA is what I fly. British Airways. I'm gonna be flying them in a couple of weeks. But BA is Boeing in this case. The biggest exporter in America, by the way. So what do we see? The company had a huge boatload of troubles. After that, there were 2 crashes by pilots of questionable competence, but the planes were not foolproof enough. Now they fixed it, and orders are coming in. And what do we see? Double bottom, beautiful, gorgeous bullish diversions, gorgeous, no other word. I think the stock has seen its bottom. I don't think the low was in about $110 area, $115 area. I don't think we'll see those prices again. It's now trading at once in the next few years. The stock is trading at 173, but it is, you've heard the song. It is trading above value. Look also, look at the charts. Look at the behavior of force index in the bottom pane in summer, as the stock was tracing it up. Look at its behavior now. Isn't it like brothers? Yeah? Very similar, not quite twins, but very similar. So the stock is trading at 173. Value is at 157, $16. Another 10% above value. We've been seeing this 10% all morning, all day today. We go to the daily chart, getting heavy, getting toppy. I would say another very attractive stock for the long pool, but please, let's not buy it above value. Let's buy it at or below value. And value as of today is in the mid 150s. Roman, I think I have to transfer controls over to you, your charts. Let's continue.
I think we can go to this question, so just to to have enough time to answer it, and probably for the next class.
I thought you wanted to look at gold and oil and bar.
Okay, maybe let's for these 2 things, because we looked at.
While you're switching, I'll just say very briefly. I'll very briefly answer the single question that came from this participant, Veselina, I think is her name. She says she's a new trader, enjoys reading my book, but how come not all stocks behave the same? She sees different because different stocks, different groups of stocks have different personalities. The market is not uniform. Think about yourself. Let's say you have 3, 4, 5 girlfriends. You want to go to a concert, you call this one. You want to go to a restaurant, you call that one. You want to go hiking. The girl who likes going to concert doesn't even know, doesn't have a pair of hiking boots. So when you decide with whom to spend a day or a weekend, you figure out their personality and go there. Well, the same thing with stocks. Different groups behave differently. Some of the major stocks that we discussed, Amazon, Caterpillar, they have one type of personality. Some of the biotech stocks are much more jumpy. So this is completely normal. That's how the stock market is. What you need to find, what all of us need to find the type of stock that you are comfortable with and trade it. And in general, build a small tracking list, 10, no more than 15 stocks, and look at them every day, study them. You can gradually change the list, but don't spread yourself too thin. Look at stocks that attract you. Start with Amazon, Caterpillar, BBY, and just look at them every day. And eventually you will start developing a feel for them, not just, coming in. A friend of mine, a very good trader, this woman psychologist, she says, selecting a stock is like going to a bar. Men look for a quick hit. Women look to build a relationship. She builds relationships with her stocks. She says, a man, somebody says no to him, he goes, talks to the next girl. This friend of mine says she builds relationships with stocks. Good advice. Roman, we're looking at gold now. Yep. Very nice chart. Very nice chart. Of course, weekly on the left. And what we can see, gold really suffered a bear market. It went from about $2,000 an ounce in the middle of the chart to about $1,600. And by the way, that kangaroo tail at the top is just classic for the book. Now, on the bottom, gold slams down 3 weeks. For 3 weeks, you see 3 bars, the gold is slamming down, and after, it rallies very strongly from the triple bottom, drops this week, and what do we see? It dropped into the value zone on the weekly chart, it dropped into the value zone on the daily chart, and now it's out of the value zone. Right? So it completed a pullback and appears ready for the next uplift. That's what it looks like to me. Write down what I said, and then next month you will tell me I was wrong or I was right. That's the only way you can test. But I do think that gold has tested the value zone, which makes it legal for me to buy. Some poor guy was buying gold at almost $1,700 an ounce, and now that gold is $1,700 an ounce. So he did a foolish trade, right? Greater fool theory trade. Now he is underwater, and what he is waiting, he's just waiting gold to come back to where he bought it. Get out even. Buy low, sell high. And having a value zone on your charts is a very good idea to find out what's a normal price and what's a crazy price. Next chart, Roman. Oil. Yeah, the daily at the right edge. Okay. Now it looks better. Now it looks much better. What do we see? What do we see? So this huge spike on the weekly chart on the left occurred in February of this year. It wasn't because of bad weather. It was because Russia, which kept assuring the world it has no military plans in mind, attacked Ukraine, invaded Ukraine, and of course there was a panic in the oil markets. And meanwhile, Russia has made Europe really dependent, like a drug, on Russian hydrocarbons. So there was in any case. So that was the panic buying. Gradually, everybody understands that markets can function even without, or with the minimum, with a great reduction of Russian hydrocarbons. brings oil to a low below $85, and that's the bottom in September of this year. There is a relief rally and then another decline. And what do we see here? What do we see here? This week's low was below the low of September. And of course, when most people see such a breakout, they say, oh, bear market continues. Most breakouts are false. So when I see a breakout, I immediately ask myself, could it be a false breakout? We go to the daily chart, and it sure does look like a false breakout. Look at the breakout on the right on September, this bottom. And now what happened on Monday? Oil dropped below the September low, and that's a double bottom. That's what it is. Unfortunately, I don't see any bullish divergences on the daily charts. However, it is entirely possible that we will get a bullish divergence on the weekly chart here. The weekly chart really looks wonderful. This is one of the things which I learned several years, not too many years ago. I used to look for situations in which both time frames gave me perfect charts. I finally came to realize one chart, I always look at two time frames, I told you. I came to realize one time frame has to be perfect. Another time frame has to be okay, at least. If both are perfect, great, but one has to be perfect, second can be just okay. So the weekly is, as soon as the weekly impulse stops being red, it will be a very attractive buy. Daily chart looks okay. So to summarize, oil is in the bottoming zone, getting ready for a buy.
Thank you, Alexander. I think we spoke everything. We covered all parts. We answered questions. So for next time, we will go, let's say, the same way. So we'll discuss, let's say, some instruments, some markets.
We'll go in a different way, Roman, with me better prepared with my software. I have to go and hit my head one more time. Apologies. But next time, of course, we'll do it properly.
No worries, everything is good. So we covered all parts. So from my side, thank you, and I wish you a good Thanksgiving Day. So it's an opportunity also for traders to have a rest when market is closed. So use this opportunity.
Okay, thank you very much, Roman. Thank you. We're supposed to eat turkey for Thanksgiving. But I stopped eating meat 30 years ago, so we're going to a sushi restaurant. No turkey.
Okay, so for 30 years, no turkey for 30 years. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alexander. Goodbye.
Thank you.
And also for our participants, I just want to say, because we looked at Alexander's indicators during our class, and I want to briefly explain how it's possible to install those indicators to your MT5 platform. And here is the plan. So we provide those indicators for our clients with a real account which balance on it more than €200. So you can set up the same view like you saw just now on my screen. To get those indicators, you need to send a request to our email, elderdisk@admiralmarkets.com. I will send you a link right now, so you can copy paste, and if you want to test them, if you want to open a real account, so you can send us a message, and our team will assist and to help with all your questions with opening account, and we will send you back those information which we have for these for those indicators. So in package we have indicators itself, and also we have templates, we have a video tutorial, so it's possible to install and to have in the same view as I showed right now. Another also important thing which I want to remind, that we actually have a contest with together with Alexander, where we have a great prize, the book, the latest book, The New Trading for a Living, with his personal signature. And I want to explain some rules, how we can participate in this contest. So first of all, we have this contest on our YouTube channel, and you need to go there, of course, subscribe, to be subscribed. And right now I'm sending again a link if you're not subscribed, so it's a good time to do so. And in this contest we have it's a gentleman contest, okay? So we all understand we came here to share our opinion about markets, different strategies and different things, but that is also a good exercise, which in the end it could be a good prize. So what you need to do to participate in our contest, it's I already said, you need to be subscribed to our YouTube channel, like the latest video which we have with Alexander on channel, suggest one trade for one asset that is traded at Admirals. We actually have around 8,000 different instruments, so I believe that it will be possible to find different markets, different countries, commodities, whatever you want. So you can suggest some instrument. In contest, you need to suggest an entry price, a stop loss, take profit, and date of post. So actually it's, let's say, some prediction of some trade where you can plan that, okay, if price goes low that 100, I will go short, here is my stop loss, and here is my take profit. And you all have your own views, your own instruments, so there you can suggest your expectation for a next month between current class and next one class, which we're going to have at 21st of December. So we have a month for this contest. So during this month, you can suggest your trades on our YouTube channel. And actually, the rules are quite simple. The trade with a higher percentage of profit will get the prize. So that's easy to win, but we all need to participate there. And also, the last but not least point of rule, it's prohibited to edit comments. So if you will edit comments, we will not use your suggestion in our contest. So thank you from my side for participation. One more time, I apologize for any interruptions, but I think we did everything. We covered all points, all parts. And next class, as I said, will be in the end of December. So we'll be happy to see everyone there. And of course, if you're watching us on the YouTube, don't forget to put a like under this video, leave a comment, leave your questions, which you want me ask to Alexander for the next session. Everything you can leave on our YouTube channel in comments. So thank you from my side. Have a good evening and see you next time.